Hey babe, it's me. I told you I'd try to give you like a shortcut into Bible study tonight since you're not going to have time to like look over the email or anything. So this is your shortcut. First of all, it sounds like they split into men's groups and women's groups last week to talk about things. So he references that in his email, and it sounds like we'll be doing that again this week. So dudes can go into dude stuff and ladies can go into lady stuff, or I guess just like share personal stuff without conflict of interest. They started Ecclesiastes 1 last week and encourage us to read Ecclesiastes 1 again before we go. And I will read that to you at the end of this video so that we close with that and you're fresh on it. Further review from last week is they asked two major questions of themselves, and it sounds like they got through the first one in person and the second one they kind of touched on, but didn't really get through it. And so they're asking us to put thought into it before we arrive, and we're going to break out into men's and women's groups again and start with that second question. So here are the questions. The first question was, how much of what you do and have feels cyclical, futile, or meaningless? Write down examples. So apparently they covered that last week and we're probably not going to revisit it. The second question, which is still live, is what would you like to change and what do you need to change about yourself / what you do and why? Which is a pretty heavy question. So this week we'll continue the discussion, taking questions a one step further, share the responses of the second question above, what would you like or need to change about yourself, with the group that you were in last week, which is the men or women group. Ask for feedback and suggestions on what you share. Make sure the discussion revolves around what you need to change about yourself or what you do, not trying to change something or someone else. And pause there, because that's pretty much point one. What would you like to change, or what do you need to change about yourself and why? Essentially, be prepared to talk about it, get feedback, be challenged, etc. And then the second thing we're going to do today, so third point, but second thing we're going to do today is, of the things you need to change, how are you going to do this? So thinking of steps, action items, etc. What help do you need? Who would you like to help you, and how? Try to focus on what you can influence and what's realistic. Apparently there will be a handout for us to complete an action plan, like tactically on paper. All right, I hope that helps. And take a brief pause in case you need to pause the video and mull it over. Here's the pause. Okay, I'm assuming you took whatever pause you need, and now I'm going to read you Ecclesiastes 1, which is what they covered last week, and we were asked to reread before a small group. So Ecclesiastes 1, everything is meaningless. The words of the teacher, son of David, king in Jerusalem. Meaningless, meaningless, says the teacher. Utterly meaningless. Everything is meaningless. What do people gain from all their labors at which they toil under the sun? Generations come and generations go, but the earth remains forever. The sun rises and the sun sets and hurries back to where it rises. The wind blows to the south and turns to the north. Round and round it goes, ever returning on its course. All streams flow into the sea, yet the sea is never full. To the place the streams come from, there they return again. All things are wearisome, more than one can say. The eye never has enough of seeing, nor the ear its fill of hearing. What has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There's nothing new under the sun. Is there anything of which one can say, look, this is something new? It was here already long ago. It was here before our time. No one remembers the former generations, and even those yet to come will not be remembered by those who follow them. new section called Wisdom is Meaningless. I, the teacher, was king over Israel and Jerusalem. I applied my mind to study and to explore by wisdom all that is done under the heavens. What a heavy burden God has laid on mankind. I have seen all the things that are done under the sun. All of them are meaningless, a chasing after the wind. What is crooked cannot be straightened. What is lacking cannot be counted. I said to myself, look, I have increased in wisdom more than anyone who has ruled over Jerusalem before me. I've experienced much of wisdom and knowledge. Then I applied myself to the understanding of wisdom and also of madness and folly. But I learned that this too is chasing after the wind. For with much wisdom comes much sorrow. For with much wisdom comes much sorrow. The more knowledge, the more grief. Thus concludes Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and this video. I love you. I'll see you soon.